Hey there, guys. We're going to be going back to Thalassa to improve my first clear. And we're going to be doing a much faster clear than my first clear as well, but of course, still getting to rank 1. So let's go in here and turn on all the modifiers. And we're going to be speeding it up quite a bit because we're going to be dropping the tank entirely and just adding another DPS, another focus unit that allows us to go way quicker than we were going before. So we're going to kill this boss with a rank 1 on turn 5. Let's get in here and give it a go. Now, I will say doing it this quickly is a lot more tricky. The units are kind of specific. As far as give me some budget alternatives for a turn 5 clear, that might be harder. But if you've got these units, here's a turn 5 clear, rank 1. So the trickiest thing in the clear is getting the morale gauge filled quickly enough, because we want to go into mania mode immediately on turn 2. If I could get it on turn 1, it'd actually be an even quicker clear, but with this party, I can't go into mania on turn 1. So we're going to go ahead and put all our morale generating stuff right up front. But we need survival as well. So we're going to go ahead and imbue water to the party. Bar water jet for the turn 1 water attacks. And then we're going to double Netherworld Stream because that fills the morale gauge. Aya Brea is going to Barrier, Gene Heal, and Haste to fill the morale gauge and to Mirage us because turn 1 we've got no physical tank, but Mirage is all we need. Aang is going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and front load his stuff. We're going to do Impaling to dispel the boss. Clear Sun for the stats, buffing, etc. And we're going to use Placid Concentration to just use it for the 500 morale gain. Notice we did not use Cleansing yet. Hayo is going to do Ultimate Flame for the morale gauge, and then just Breaker Full, Breaker Magic, whatever for the morale gain. Papoi can just quad cast a water attack. Not much else you can do here. And again, you could also use Metzi if you wanted to, but I wanted to use Papoi again because it's kind of funny using Papoi. But again, Metzi, totally fine instead of Papoi. Anyway, Melissa is now going to triple cast. We're going to Shelga to survive turn 1, Chronic for the morale gain, and Parasol Shield. So here we go. So yeah, the one easy swap is Papoi or Metzi instead of Papoi. Anyway, there's the turn 1 attacks, and that's going to be like the most damage we take the entire clear. Not using a tank, as it turns out, when the boss is this much of a joke, you don't need a tank. So here we go. So now we're going to go ahead and push that morale gauge beyond 175. So in order to do that, first of all, Aang is going to Cleansing Arrow to get rid of our imperils, and double Bolting Strike to fill the morale gauge. Chow is going to quad cast Stream because those are morale gauge fillers. We want all of that morale gauge as quickly as possible. Hayo will go ahead and do Crimson Undermine for the morale fill, and then just some breaker things for the morale fill. We can just reload Papoi. Aya Brea will triple cast Healing for the morale gain. All of these skills I'm using fill the morale gauge. And then Melissa, in order to survive the physical, we're going to All-Consuming Darkness so that we absorb darkness for 3 turns, Shared Immunity, and Minutes to Might for the morale gauge. Now that should comfortably put us above 175. It did. So there we go. We're in mania mode now by more than 6%. So we're fine here. The boss is going to do some magical water and magical dark damage here. Because we cured the water imperils as well as use Chow's water resist buff, the water will not hurt us, and we're going to absorb the darkness and all the physical damage as well. Okay, so some attacks, we absorb it, and we immune the rest. No problem. Who needs tanks? Okay, so now we are going to use focus abilities. Now, for this one, we need 5,000 focus per turn to get a turn 5 clear. So, Papoi will focus plus for the 3,000 focus. No, Metzi is a completely fine alternative. Aya Brea will focus for 1,000 focus, and then Hayo will focus for another 1,000. That's 5,000 or more focus. We'll get the other 5,000 at the start of next turn, and we'll be ready for Vertex mode already. So now we're going to start setting up for killing on turn 5. So Chow is going to quad cast. We'll Arcane Supplementation, Encouraging Waves, and with a stream twice to get more morale generation. Aang will do Hunter of the Mystical. We'll put up his field with Rolling Mist, and then Morning Dew to imperil the boss. And Melissa on this turn will SLB targeting herself. If you don't have EX3 Melissa, regular LB is fine. Just LB or SLB targeting herself. That way we have magical mitigation for the upcoming turns, as well as it reduces her cooldown so we can use seconds on turn 5. Okay, so some whatever attacks, physical damage we're immune to, dark damage we're immune to, water damage we're immune to, and then the non-elemental with Melissa's SLB or LB will be totally fine. We might take, 1 or 2 big hits, but for the most part, it's going to be no problem. Yeah, 12,000 damage on Papoy, who has no leader skill. All the rest of it is whatever. Now, you saw us Mirage a bunch of stuff. That didn't even matter because we were absorbing darkness and the boss is dark imbued. Okay, we're going to be setting up for kill next turn. As you notice, turn 4, we're already maxed out on the focus gauge. So Aang will go ahead and Vertex us with Enduring Love. We'll do his 180 Amplify and Awaken Divinity for the modifier buff. Chow will get ready for killing next turn. We're going to quad cast. We'll do Malediction for the amp, Fluffy Watchdog for the focus, and then we'll just Kurega twice in case anyone needs it. I don't think anyone does, but just in case. Hayo will do Refine Stance for the Big Fist in Peril, and then just, whatever, some morale fill with the Breaker Claws. Papoy will now put up the field. We'll triple Acid, and then we'll do the Undyne's field, Undyne's Domain. Aya Bray will shift here. We'll do Awakened and Double Bolting. So, Awakened and Double Bolting. And then Melissa on this turn will start doing some killers. So, we'll Dragon Killer, or in Beast Killer on Chow. We'll Dragon Killer on Chow, and we'll just do a shared immunity for the morale gain. Okay, so we're in chance mode. So the boss during chance mode is a total joke. Doesn't really do anything. You're going to see some damage come in. It's going to be nothing. 1,000 damage. Yeah, it's a total freebie. We're still absorbing darkness, by the way. So the dark thing just wore off, but now it's time to kill. So before we kill, though, we're going to use Melissa to give a little bit more boosting. So we're going to do Beast Killer on Aang, who is our biggest DPS, Dragon Killer on Aang, and Seconds of Support on Aang. So let's go. We're going to shift Hayo and do the shifted LB. Make sure you do Brave Shift him. Chow SLB, Aang SLB, Aya Bray shifted LB, and Papoy can just jump in here with an Extreme Nova, or you can guard, or you can use her magic, or his magic, whatever, it doesn't matter. And there it is. So we totally skipped all the thresholds by OTKing from 100%. The boss has 15 billion HP. We did 19.2 billion HP. There's a chain cap score. Killed it in chance mode. Rank 1. We got a bunch of morale. What a joke of a boss. What a joke of a boss. So there it is. No Neo Pluses required for this one. Super easy rank 1. There's the damage breakdown. We got 1 burst in. And yeah. Isn't that fun content? Turn 5 clear. Now, if I had something like, Xyrus and could fill a million morale gauge on turn 1, we could probably do a turn 4 clear. But I'm not pulling for Xyrus. He's not good enough, in my opinion. He's a fine unit, but not good enough. Anyway, let me show you the team. So, this is one of the easiest bosses we've ever had. My lord. And again, as far as unit swaps go, Papoy can easily be Metzi. I wanted to use Papoy for the comedy value, but Metzi does the exact same thing. Focus plus and a field. Anyway, so our Melissa is, now like I said, morale gain is the hardest part of this clear, to go for a speed clear. So a lot of morale fill, so either pause or something like Lily's is fine. We gave her the Savior's chest piece for the morale per turn, Celestite Rod, and then just some whatever. And then the morale card, Open Heart. Papoy is dual wielding a morale card. Other than that, whatever. He gets no leader skills, so make him as bulky as you can so he survives early. You want a little bit of water and dark resist. I didn't have that much, but whatever. It's fine. Aya Brea, base form, a lot of morale gain. So Lilies, Ring, Peppermint Rod, etc. Other than that, who cares? Shift form is damage. So there we go, and I think she's capped on everything, all the killers. Hayo, base form, morale gain. We're dual wielding conductor's rods, got some Galbana lilies, treasured ring, and then kind of whatever right there. Shift form is damage. So there we go. All the damage, maxed on everything. He's a premium. It's very easy to do. Then we've got Chow. Again, the whole party is status immune as well. It's kind of important. Anyway, lots of killers, maxed on everything. And then we've got Aang. Status immunity, lots of killers, maxed on everything. So there is the season finale boss, our introduction to Neo Plus, and it's a joke. So, okay. There's an optimized speed clear. Turn chart will be in the comments, and, you know, I do think a turn 4 rank 1 is possible, but that would probably require something like Xyrus to fill that morale gauge on turn 1. Because for a turn 4 clear, you'd have to go into Vertex mode, or you'd have to go into Mania mode on turn 1. And that would need a lot of turn 1 morale. I think it's possible, but don't have the unit to test, so I can't tell you. Anyway, see you in a bit.